Something strange. What do you think happens to a parasite when the animal carrying it dies and then gets buried under 40,000 years of ice? Logic says the parasite dies too. That's the comfortable version of the story. But nature doesn't always care about our comfort. Because in the last decade, scientists digging into the Siberian permafrost have discovered something that honestly sounds like the start of a sci-fi horror movie. Life doesn't stay dead as easily as we thought. Frozen soil, older than human civilization itself, has been waking up. And inside that ice, researchers found something deeply unsettling. Ancient organisms with the ability to infect blood. Yeah, if you weren't uncomfortable yet, take a deep breath. Let's step into the cold. The first big shock. Worms that woke up after 42,000 years. In 2018, scientists from Russia and Princeton University made a discovery that shook biology. They thawed samples of permafrost, soil frozen solid since the Ice Age, and found live nematodes. Not fossils, not dead worms, not worm dust. Living, moving, wiggling worms. One was 32,000 years old. Another, over 42,000 years old. These tiny creatures survived by basically shutting down their metabolism and waiting, and waiting, and waiting. And here's where the blood parasite angle starts to matter. Some nematode species aren't harmless. Many are blood-feeding parasites in animals. They latch onto the bloodstream, steal nutrients, weaken the host, and in some cases, spread disease. Now, scientists did not revive a worm that infects humans. Let's be super clear. But the fact that any parasitic organism can survive geological time inside ice tells us something terrifying. Permafrost is not a graveyard. It's a freezer. And freezers preserve things, the ancient blood parasites we know exist. Okay, so did we literally revive a blood parasite from 40,000 years ago? Not exactly. But here's what's real. 1. Fossilized mosquitoes found in ice still contain ancient blood. Not living, but the parasites inside that blood, their DNA is shockingly well preserved. Some carried ancient relatives of Plasmodium, the parasite responsible for malaria. 2. Reindeer carcasses preserved in Siberian ice tested positive for old parasites. One famously caused an anthrax outbreak in 2016 when the carcass thawed. That wasn't a blood parasite, but it proved a terrifying point. Pathogens trapped in ice can return. 3. Permafrost soil contains frozen eggs of blood-feeding parasitic worms. Not revived, but very much preserved. So even though scientists haven't revived a human-infecting blood parasite, thank goodness, the conditions for that possibility clearly exist. And that's why this topic feels so unsettling. The giant virus discovery, proof that old pathogens can wake up. In 2014, French researchers revived a virus from Siberian ice called Pithavirus sibericum. It had been frozen for 30,000 years. When they thawed it, the virus did something nobody expected. It woke up, and it infected cells again. Not human cells, only amoebas. But still, a virus asleep for 30 millennia, suddenly active again? That sent a shiver through the scientific community. Because if a giant virus can survive, so can a parasite. Parasites are often more resilient than viruses. So what could a 40,000-year-old blood parasite actually be? Let's break this down. No scientist has revived a human-infecting parasite. But based on real data, these are the most scientifically plausible candidates for resurrection. Number 1. Blood-feeding nematodes. Some nematodes infect the bloodstream of animals. Since ordinary nematodes survived 42,000 years, a parasitic one could theoretically endure too. 2. Trypanosome-like organisms. These cause diseases like sleeping sickness and infect blood cells. Their DNA survives extremely well in frozen tissue. Number 3. Blood parasites inside preserved insects. Ancient mosquitoes trapped in ice contain intact blood parasites, including relatives of malaria. Number 4. Parasites inside prehistoric animal remains. Woolly mammoths, cave lions, ancient bison, all carried parasites. Their frozen tissues still contain preserved parasite DNA. Again, none revived, but all possible in theory. The real scientific fear. Not fiction, just temperature. Here's what scientists are genuinely worried about. As permafrost melts, ancient pathogens won't stay locked away. We already have proof. Anthrax returned from a thawed reindeer carcass. Ancient bacteria revived successfully in labs. Viruses 30,000 years old became infectious again. Worms woke up after 42,000 years. So the question isn't, will we revive an ancient blood parasite on purpose? The real question is, what's going to thaw out on its own? That makes melting permafrost a huge biological wildcard. Not because we expect a prehistoric plague, but because the truth is, Earth has a very long memory, and it stores that memory in ice. So here's the real story, and it's creepy enough. No invented monsters, no fictional parasites, just these true, proven facts. Organisms can survive tens of thousands of years frozen. Some of those organisms are parasites. Some are blood-feeding parasites. We have revived worms, bacteria, and viruses from deep time. Not all ancient microbes are harmless. As the planet warms, more will thaw. But the biggest unknown? Whether something ancient, something adapted to prehistoric animals, could find a way to survive in our modern bodies. That's the scientific mystery. Not fear-mongering, not fantasy, just the uncomfortable truth. We don't fully know what's under the ice, but it's been waiting a very, very long time. Because one thing is certain, if life survived 40,000 years of darkness, it's not done surprising us yet.